the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Starting on the ground with Herbert. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll take that 14 yards on play number 1. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Fields on first down. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. On the move past the 40. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. The Bears at 3-9 now on the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. So Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. Santos' kick is up and through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Rodgers now to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. On the move past the 40. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Packers. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week they're coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one, because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
From the 50, here's Fields. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. Left side, got Jones. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Again, Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come back and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that hit from turning into points for the other side.
And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the 1st down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers going to throw. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. An inside give to Jones. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes it's a beauty.
They'll go again to Jones. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. To throw, it's Rodgers. He hits Doubs on the crosser. He's going to have the 1st down and more than that. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Romeo Doubs with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
He did a fine job there not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On play action, it's Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll get 34 yards there. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the play.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A.J. Dillon, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Flush to his right. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Fields. And that'll be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Eric Stokes. Then into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, 2nd year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really started to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
On 1st down, it's Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. 2nd and 6. Fields now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Here's Fields. Touchdown, Bears! Darnell Mooney, 26 yards. And the Bears are able to cut into that deficit. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Rodgers' throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. On first down, Fields. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On second and 10, Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Fields. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Fields. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Velus Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this. A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he's got room. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with career touchdown number 70. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good, and that will bump the lead up to 26. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Running right, Jones. 142 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
Now Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll try again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
They'll run it with Jones. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Colt Kmet. A huge play there for Chicago. 44 yards.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like 2 excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. From the 50, here's Fields. Looking in zone for Jones. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Velus Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bears get a bit closer. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Up the middle, Jones. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He finds Watson. It's caught. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Fields on 1st down. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. He's going to let it go again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Man open, here is Jones. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Here's Fields. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Back to throw again. That's complete to Mooney. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And now here is another interception. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. The give is to Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Rodgers going to throw. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. And my goodness, another interception. And the Packers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. What a nightmarish game he's He's having now 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in the game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. McCann for the point after. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Makes the score Packers 52, Bears 23.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away.
Bearcats made at the 25-yard line. The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 50 yards. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Here's Fields. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the
Fields hit, and the ball is loose. And the Packers pick it up. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And I don't know that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long. He's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Fields now to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
There's a reason the number 4 was flashing through my mind when he let that one go. 3 touchdowns already in his back pocket. The deep ball's been a great weapon for him in this one. Unfortunately, empty on that attempt.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Fourth down. Fields has to have this one. Steps away to his left. Caught by Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Again, Fields. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them.
And he lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And some room to run now. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. McCann now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean,